Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is tutorial 4 in our series of learning C programming by coding. In the previous tutorial, we saw how to add two numbers. Now in this tutorial, we're going to learn how to multiply two numbers. But this time, we're not going to use integers numbers, okay? We're going to use double numbers or floating numbers. Okay, so the first thing you do, is to declare your variable. We say in this tutorial we want to use double, so which means you're going to use the keyword double to declare your variable. Let's say we want to multiply x and y, but where are you going to store the result? Now remember, the result is a product of x and y, so you can just name it as product. Now in C programming, a double is a data type, okay, that store high precision floating point data, okay? By high precision, we mean you're going to have numbers with decimal places. So if you are doing a division or a multiplication or any sort of calculation, you can also have your decimal places figure into your result. So this is why we make use of double or float. So now that you got your variable declared, the next thing to do, as always, is to ask the user to enter the two numbers. Now you're going to ask the user to enter two numbers. So we're going to clear this line and say, please enter two numbers. And we want this time to go on a new line to scan the numbers that the user is going to input. Okay, now that you've asked a user to enter two numbers, expect someone to enter two numbers. So what's the next thing to do is to handle the two numbers. So you're going to use a scanf function. Okay, now because we are expecting the user to enter double or numbers with comma with decimal places, that means we are going to use a different format specifier to receive those numbers. Now in the previous tutorial, we used %d to handle integers. Now in this tutorial, because we are handling floating and double, we're now going to use LF, which is a format specifier used for double or floating numbers. Because we are going to receive two numbers, so we need to add two of them. Okay, now we need to reference the variable that are going to be holding our numbers, just as we did, and %x, comma, and %y. So this is where our numbers are going to be stored. So now that you've got x and y holding the two numbers as the user just input, you now need to go ahead and process them. So we're going to write a comment and say calculation. We already defined a variable that is going to hold the product of x times y. So we're just going to say product, just as we did in the previous tutorial, is x times y. And you guessed it, the next thing to do is now to print out the result of x and y. So we're going to say printf we say product is equal to % dot LF, and then we pass product. Okay, so that's the value of product we're passing with this format specifier to hold the result for product, and then we return to 0. Now let's run this program and see what we get. Okay, please enter two numbers. What are the two numbers that I'm going to enter? The double numbers, the float. That means numbers with comma separated value. So which means I'm going to enter the first number 3.5 and I want to enter the second number 1.5. Automatically my answer is given as product of 3.5 times 1.5 is equal to 5. But now you can see there are no decimal places. Now, in order for us to get decimal places, we need to modify something into our code. What we need to modify is here, by the format specifier, you see we put a dot here, which specifies that we have decimal places, but we didn't specify how many decimal places we have. So if we put 2, that means we want 2 decimal places. Now let's go ahead and run the program again. I'm going to enter 3.5 once again and 1.5. So the product of 3.5 times 1.5 is equal to 5,25. Now if we check that with our calculator, let's say 3.5 times 1.5, how much we get? We get 5,25. Okay, now in the previous example we only got 5, and that was precisely because we did not specify the number of decimal places. And this is very important, especially in engineering, when you have to deal with programming that you need to compute some calculations for all sort of things that you can imagine. You're going to use floating numbers, doubles, and your decimal places are very important for precision. So if you forget, then you're going to lose data and your result won't be accurate. So this will be it for this tutorial. Once again, don't forget to subscribe to CMTEQ channel. Until next time, cheers.